The Dream Life. Hi there. The book you're about to read is my personal story. There's nothing I would do to change it. And that's a good thing, because I don't want to change it. The past is a part of me and took me to where I am right now. It was a bumpy ride, with a lot of highs and lows, but was totally worth it. People tend to ask me, would you do it all over again? My answer is simply yes. While traveling the world, I've met people of different cultures, dined at the best restaurants, slept in the best hotels, and lived in the most luxurious ways. All these trips brought me to places where I would have never been by myself. And the best part? I didn't pay for any of it. It's actually the contrary. People paid me to do it. Doesn't that sound like a dream life to you? Well, it doesn't to me. 2004. Birthday parties and my grandpa's speakers. I was 15 when I somehow got the idea to start DJing. It's kind of weird looking back at it now, since my family had no musical history. Sure, there was always music playing in the background, but neither of my parents played any instruments or had any artistic career. Somehow, I still felt the urge to become a DJ. Like any young aspiring DJ, my first problem was that I didn't have any money. I wanted gear to start playing, but since there was no money, I decided to hustle my way into gathering as much gear as I could from family and friends. People had stuff they wanted to get rid of anyway, so why not give it to me? I still remember receiving hi-fi speakers and an amplifier from my grandpa. He wanted me to have it and set up my own drive-in DJ show. My first show was a birthday party for an 8-year-old kid. Picture me playing in front of 20 young kids with all that high-end hardware. The main problem I encountered was that my relative CD players didn't have any pitch options because, well, they were normal CD players. The players were slow as hell and only had a play and pause button to work with. I knew that if I really wanted to become a DJ, I needed to figure out a way to make this work. I later tried timing the tracks perfectly so that the audience wouldn't notice that the previous track was done. The issue with this process was that I needed to hit the play button approximately 2 seconds before the previous track ended. Otherwise, the next one wouldn't be ready to start. That's how long the delay was on those players. After doing some gigs and making decent money for my age, I saved enough money to buy my first professional CD player. It was a dual CD player with 2 pitch wheels on it, but it mostly definitely wasn't a Pioneer player. That stuff was too expensive for me. This pitch bend wheel was a big upgrade because I could finally start mixing properly. The problem was that the pitch bend wheel had a small delay. It wasn't as bad as my previous players, but I still needed to calculate the delay in my mixing time. To this day, I'm still very thankful for that player, since it taught me how to DJ with shitty equipment. If you can play on shitty gear, you can play on anything. D-Dale. By this time, I had some experience DJing at home parties. My best friend at the time told me that he had aspirations to become a DJ as well. So we decided to start a DJ duo named D-Dale and build our own drive-in show. The DJ booth was custom built for the trunk of his dad's car, since his father was the one driving us to all of our gigs. We invested some money and got ourselves 2 vinyl players and a decent mixer. In combination with my previously bought CD player, this was a decent set to begin with. Our first gigs were weddings, graduation parties, and birthdays. We were doing pretty well. Our fee was €75 for a whole night, meaning building the DJ booth, playing, and cleanup for the room afterward. Still, $37, $50 a person wasn't bad at all for that age. We had friends making less money doing their paper route.